Welcome back to Coconut Shrimp. This week we're going to be talking about serving again, and we're going to unpack some scripture and just talk about it for a few minutes and get you guys back in your day.
Yeah, it's going to be quick today. So last week we talked to you a bit about serving your spouse in the simple things, just those everyday reminders to do something to show love and support for your spouse. Today we want to talk about serving Christ through your spouse. So we're still talking about serving your spouse, but how you can actually make an impact for the kingdom and serve Christ in your serving of your spouse. Jesus says this in Matthew chapter 25, starting in verse 31, talking about the end times when we'll stand before him in judgment. He says this in verse 34, "Then the king will say to those on his right, 'Come, you who are blessed by my Father, inherit the kingdom prepared for you from the creation of the world. For I was hungry and you fed me. I was thirsty and you gave me a drink. I was a stranger and you invited me into your home. I was naked and you gave me clothing. I was sick and you cared for me. I was in prison and you visited me.' Then those righteous ones will reply, 'Lord, when did we ever see you hungry and feed you, or thirsty and give you something to drink, or a stranger and show you hospitality, or naked and give you clothing? When did we ever see you sick or in prison and visit you?' And the king will say, 'I tell you the truth, whenever you did it to one of the least of these, my brothers and sisters, you were doing it to me.'"
And I think it's neat because so often we put this verse towards others in our community and those around us, but we forget to add this to our spouse. We forget to put that emphasis and that focus on each other. It's so often that we care for others and we give them needs and we take them meals and we care for them, but so often we push our spouse out of the way for that.
Yeah, whenever we serve others, we're doing it unto Christ, is what this passage is basically breaking down. Yeah, your neighbors and those in your church and those who you're trying to win into the faith, but also your family, your children, your spouse especially. So our hope and our desire is to kind of give you a larger view today of thinking one day you will stand before the judgment seat of Christ, and our hope and prayer is that we get to hear the voice of God say, "Well done, good and faithful servant. You saw me naked and you clothed me. You saw me hungry and you fed me. You have seen me hungry and you fed me many times." I don't know if that's one that I can say back or that Christ will say to me in eternity. But the hope and the prayer is that, man, maybe you just see the glimpse of the approval on Christ's face as you serve your spouse, and that would give you the energy and the focus and the enthusiasm to want to serve them as a worship to God. And
don't overlook each other. Make sure you focus on each other and remember each other that you can meet these needs for Christ in such an easy way, and you're together all the time.
As we do every week, there's going to be some discussion questions for you to spend a few minutes talking with your spouse in the comments below. So check those out, and we will see you next week.
Thanks, guys.
God bless.